Alright, we're going to talk about the detail sheet. This is for both projects, for the Rotunda Garden and for your front yard project. This will apply to both. They're both on D sheets, and they'll be both sheet 5 of 6. So I'm going to show you how to set that up in CAD, and let's get going on that. Alright, so the first thing we're looking at D sheet, this is what it's going to end up looking like. Alright, I'll show you how to get to this point, and this is the basic setup. So we have 4 rows across and 4 rows down for the 16 required details. Within that, we need to figure out how to set that up first, and so I'm going to show you on this. Basically what you're going to do first, just go into the line command and draw a line across here. And what I'm going to do, I'll go ahead and turn ortho on and zoom in on this a little bit. So I'm just going to hover over here at this point and then snap into this point here, which is not, now it's not giving me the snap. So I'm going to have to do, turn snaps off. Of course, it just worked a few minutes ago, so I'm just going to snap it into this point here. And then we're going to draw another line straight on down. Let's see if this snap has worked. F3 back on. Now the perpendicular snap is working. So we have a line horizontal and vertical. And so the first thing we're going to do is figure out how big these boxes have to be. So what I did is I took a total measurement across, and then I figured out that each box vertically, we'll go horizontal first, will be 7.5. So I took the total number of inches divided by the 4 and came up with 7.5. So come back to here, and I'll do an offset and 7.5, and go to my vertical line, 1, 2, and 3, and that will give me my offset for my vertical. And then the horizontal, I figured out would be 5.5. So O enter, and back to 5.5, and now come down to the line that I drew across the top. 1, 2, 3. So now we have our 16 squares. And you want to keep the control lines in here, and I'll show you why in a second. The top control horizontal you can delete, and the this one here I would keep in because it's going to encompass this side here. Use the extend command and extend those 3 lines there, and we have our boxes completed. The next step is to make viewports for each one of these. So this top left one, the bottom left, will require a polygonal viewport. The other ones are just regular rectangular viewports. So I'll go ahead and go to polygonal. Again, remember where you start because you will not click on the starting point. Okay, enter for the arc, hover, and CL, close it out. And now we have our first viewport. And again, the other ones, besides the bottom left, will just be a rectangular viewport, like so. All right. So now we have those started, so I would advise just go ahead and put all the viewports in. And what I did is I went ahead and made a small object here, and as an example of a detail, and I think it was one, it wasn't 1/32 for sure. I forgot what I scaled that at. It's on the other sheet instead of messing with this. Almost there. 3/4, I believe it was. And then you can position it as always. So those are the steps to get the viewports in. Get the boxes first, the control lines, then the viewports. And then after you make the details, you zoom in, of course. Now the other thing you're going to do is fill out the title block. Let me go to my other sheet here. So I have the title block filled out the way I want it. Of course, my name in here, and if you want to put a company name, as long as you're identified somewhere in here, that's fine with me. This one particular sheet is for the Rotunda Garden Project, and this is a detail sheet. So you always want to have what sheet is referenced in here, somewhere on here in this title block. And the other thing we have is the project name down here is Rotunda Garden. I'll put today's date in here. And here for scale is as noted, because we're going to put in some text here for each detail, excuse me, each detail, and then we're going to scale each detail. So that will come as the entire sheet as noted, and here we have the reference to the scale on that. And then this will end up being sheet 5 of 6, and that's for both projects. All right, so let's take a look at the text here as the last thing. So this text is that 1% that I say that you can do in Paperspace. Everything else should be done in ModelSpace. So here is I just want to use the text command on that. I laid the text up here and typed in the information and what the detail was and the scale that it's going to be at. And I just placed it down here and nicely positioned. Now while I have this selected, I can go ahead and after I get my viewports all made, I can go ahead and Control C. And let's go over here with the other, I'll just paste it here. And I'll be showing you this one as an example. Once you have one piece of text selected and then copy it, Control V, or spacebar to repeat the command. And now I can place it in each viewport and align it with the other text, so it's nice and neatly across. If you want to run another control line across here, after you get the viewports in, and then you can come back and edit the text. So if this was, next one was, say, a shrub, planting detail. And then you can just go edit all the text boxes through there. And instead of going through the text command and rewriting, it's a lot easier to make one and copy it. All right, so that is how to set up your detail sheet for both projects. Sheet number 5 has, and that one doesn't have the right information. That's why I went to this one, because I set this one up with the correct information in the title block to give you a good example. Sheet number 5 of 6. That's your detail sheet, so you'll have 16 details as per the directions that I have posted in Packet 5. I've sent out previous. I gave you more information in Packet 5 assignments under lessons, and I will be sending out an announcement as well for each sheet that will apply to both projects. All right, hopefully that was helpful. As always, any questions, let me know. Take care.